on the G3 Boardroom, we are going to be reviewing a brand new game called Tiny Epic Crimes by Gamelin Games.
It's a Tiny Epic review.
It's tiny. I don't know how epic, but it's going to be tiny. I enjoyed this game. We've played other Tiny Epic games. I'm just going to say right off the bat, we played Tiny Epic Dungeons, and maybe because of the name Tiny, I expected it to be not as long. It was very, very long. That game takes a long time to play.
I don't know if it's very, very long.
No. Did I say two varies? One very long.
You know, like Descent is very, very long. Very, very.
But it was still a fun
and
game.
Allies.
Yeah. All the Tiny Epic games are fun, and this one was no different. How many other Tiny Epic games we played? We played
3 or 4.
But Tiny Epic Crimes is a like a noir detective, like back in the, I don't know what the timeline is, looking at these people. The
Before
suspects,
now.
It looks like probably like in the 20s or something. So, the mobster, gangster era, and you have to, there's been a murder, and the murderer gets put into the murderer
The suspect
sleeve. Mm-hmm. The suspect gets put in there, and then you have to solve clues to figure out who it is. And the clues you're solving, it's by process of elimination. You've got a weapon, you've got a mode of transport, you've got forensics, gang affiliation. If you're a boss or like an underboss, and as you go along and you figure all these things out, you start to cross off suspects. Sometimes you cross off a lot of suspects. Like you've got the blue bee, and half of them are the red rhino. And when you find the clue that says, "Hey, it's not a red rhino," well, you just eliminated half of your suspects.
Yeah.
And so you just go along doing that, and then you eventually come up with your guess. When we played our playthrough, we had it narrowed down to one person. So, we got kind of lucky. We had played this game before where we had it narrowed down to three when the game ended and we guessed wrong. But that's sort of the gist of it. And I enjoyed it. I'll go into details about that in a minute.
I did too. I was a little concerned because I think we played the last one. It went really quick, but this one was very in-depth and you had a lot of different options of clues. Took me a while to kind of figure that out with some corrections.
Yeah, well, not every character can do the same things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing because, I just saw him do it, so I'm going to do it too. Oh, wait, I don't have
That's the thing.
that ability.
It's like, you see it and you're like, well, I want to help that guy finish that.
Yep.
And you can't.
Yeah.
And so Bob and I worked together on the green, and we got that done fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then Bob wants to help on the blue, or Bob wants to help on the pink, and Bob can't. So Bob runs around and does the brown. And did that fairly quickly, and then Bob was out of things to do.
Took a few coffee breaks.
But luckily in this game, once you've got your tasks done and there's no more tasks, there's always these events that are coming out. And the events, once the events, you can get 3, and once you get to the 4th, well, then bad stuff starts to happen. So
that's what I did like about it. There wasn't, even like you said, I completed my tasks. I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. I had some other stuff to do.
Right. Like all Tiny Epic games, I'm constantly surprised by how much stuff is crammed into this box.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a miracle of engineering, because once I take it out, I can't get it back in there, and it's off by like that much. It makes no sense that all this stuff fits into one box.
You need to take a video of you unboxing it piece by piece,
Yeah,
so you know how it goes back in.
Please, for one.
It's probably vacuum sealed or something.
I don't quite understand, but I'm constantly amazed by how much stuff they can get in one box. I'm constantly amazed about how much gameplay they can squeeze into a tiny game.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of randomization. Again, it can be any one of these 16 guys. But not only that, you're putting out the city tiles in a completely different order every time. Mm-hmm. It's a different suspect every time. There's 16 of them, and you have that variation. You choose different abilities every time. You have that variation. Different events come out. You have that variation. So there's a lot of replayability in this game. I like it quite a bit. I do like the tokens are good enough quality, but I really like the dice.
Pretty cool.
The bullet dice.
They're perhaps not politically correct, but they're little bullets, and you can roll them along.
Well, it's not as bad as money and cash and guns.
Oh yeah.
Cash and guns, yeah.
Yeah.
that's a little bit
If
more
I have-
blatant.
I have one minor quibble about this game, and it's that you end up moving the suspect card a lot from the murderer thing to one of the other things, and these are super dense. They're very tight. And so taking the card out and cramming it in here, I feel like I'm going to damage the cards. That's my only real quibble about this game. Other than that, you got a lot of replayability in here. This one actually, this is the deluxe version, came with an expansion that we didn't play with, so that's added as well. And I know there's another expansion that people are receiving right now with their Kickstarter orders. And so they do a lot with these games. I like it quite a bit. Our playthrough was slightly skewed because, in my opinion, we rolled a bunch of sixes. A bunch of sixes. And when you roll a 6 on either one of these dice, you don't have to put a mobster out. And I'm going to go through the playthrough, or you can go through the playthrough, and just count how many times we roll a 6.
Well,
It's got to be half the times.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want mobsters
think
to come
I'll put a
out
mobster
because if mobsters double up,
Might be
then
right.
you have to
Bad things happen.
the events come out instead. But toward the end of the game, we didn't want to roll those 6s because you need mobsters. You need to apprehend mobsters at certain places in order to pick up these tokens or to pick up these tokens.
Yeah.
And if there's no mobsters on the board, you can't achieve your goals.
And to be frank, we got lucky. To be frank, we got a lucky roll that put one out that the exact one I needed to get the last blue thing, or to get a blue thing on my way to the other blue thing.
How do you ever get your badges all the way up to 9?
Mine's at 8.
Oh.
Is
But
it?
not only that, look at the other side. That's 10.
Oh.
And you start.
Oh.
So mine was
So-
mine was only at a 5. So I guess,
I
that
guess with the
wasn't
expansions, that's probably be more likely for that to happen.
Quite possibly,
Yeah.
but it also, it does show that I did more to win that game than either of you guys.
I tried to do other stuff. You told me I
told you
couldn't.
could not do it. I was lying. I just
It was
wanted to
the
be the
rule
hero. But I think it's a good game. Tiny Epic games are reasonably priced. It's a worthy addition to the library. It's a good game. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to playing it more.
Yeah, I'm gonna like the replayability, and you think that, just with the cards, it's really not that difficult to keep it condensed and keep it organized.
You need a
looks
good
like
size
there's-
table.
It looks like there's you need a fairly good sized table. It looks like there's a lot of stuff. The most you can play,
box.
the most you can play with is 4. So I think 4 people would have filled up the rest of this table.
A good family
that's
game,
fine.
then. A small family game.
And we played cooperatively. There's another mode that's called the standard mode,
Yeah.
where you're all working to solve the crime, but you're keeping all your evidence to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that way there's a winner declared at the end. Now, we like to play cooperatively,
Yeah.
so,
You would
that's
need one of those.
Right.
like a
at the
DM
end.
shield.
Right.
Oh, final thoughts.
Overall, I really liked it. I'm kind of new to some of the Tiny Epic games, but like you said, a lot of replayability, and it seems like everybody has something to do, which is good.
Yeah.
Because there's been a few games in the past that we played outside of the videos where it's like, oh, okay, can't do much. Just kind of rolling my turn.
Yeah, we did get to
So-
a point where there wasn't really too much to do, but that was like literally on like the last turn of the turn of the game. You have to cross over into the red spots in order to make your guess. And so Bob and I both had to take one turn where we're just like, we're just driving in circles
around.
until we get there. But it was yeah.
And since everyone has something to do, and since every card is unique, you're doing your things. You're doing your things. We have some things that intermingle, but some things are not.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to, it's not a problem with our group here or our group with Dave. There's not a lot of quarterbacking, but some games can be susceptible to quarterbacking where one strong personality takes over and says, well, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And, this game is not really susceptible to that within our group, but you might want to watch it in your group if it's like that, because very easy, like, well, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
Do that, and then, so we don't do that. We work together quite well. Jay, you got final thoughts?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the game. It wasn't too long.
I forgot about something important.
Oh, what's
The
that?
game supplies its own bag. I love games that supply their own bag. Way to go, Gameland Games.
You know, it's funny when we did our
How many of those do you have
unboxing.
now from the Epic Games?
4 or 5.
Yep.
When we did our unboxing, we were like, "Oh, it's a very tiny bag," but you know, everything
It
that
does what
needs
it's
to go
supposed
in
to
this
do.
bag fits in there very well.
You don't have to use the liquor bottle bags anymore.
Right.
The Crown Royal.
Now you just have a bunch of liquor bottle bags sitting around doing nothing. And one more time, I'm sorry, were your thoughts done?
No, I was just saying that I
Catch
really
on.
enjoyed the game. I really enjoy the little magnifying
It does
glass.
its job.
You know,
Yeah.
it's got
Good
the little red filter on it, so you can look at the clues. So the clues are kind of obscured, so you don't accidentally see them. Or if you're playing the standard mode, if I'm looking, someone can't accidentally see it. So it's kind of fun. You can play with the
You
little.
can see it
magnifying
clearly if you
glass.
stare at it, but you're not going
Right.
to pick it up at a
Yeah.
glance. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I do.
Especially if there's a glare.
Yeah. I do want to give another shout to Diced. We got this one because of our relationship with Diced. We got a little bit earlier. And so big shout out to them. Thank you. And check out their app. Other than that, I would
Yeah.
say if
We learned how to play this game using the Diced app,
Oh, yeah.
so it was super helpful.
so any mess ups we made, it's on them. No, big shout out to them. Big shout out to Gameland Games. And again, do us that favor if you learned anything or had a laugh today. Do like and subscribe. Comment on the bottom. What do you think about this game? It's brand new. It's rolling out. I know you Kickstarters are getting it right now here in September 23. And so like, subscribe. Really helps out the channel. We appreciate you.
Okay, we'll see you next time.